has a lot of experience, because when it comes to, if I had someone who is a very senior developer or a senior engineering manager at an established tech company, well, they come with all sort of nuances. They try to make your pipeline very streamlined. Well, that is good, but what we are at a stage, and this has been our moat or our USP, that we iterate really really fast. We started as a backtesting service, but now we are doing a lot more than that. And what we are doing right now is might not be even 5% of what we aim to do in a couple years down the line. So I mean, we have to iterate really really fast. So I mean, I always look for people who have this sense of ownership, that if I assign them something, they take that it is their it is their job of the life to get that task completed and then move on to the next one, not just stuck over there. You have done something, you build it out and you push it out. Of course, in the first go itself, you're not going to write 100% correct code. You might face some challenges, but that comes when when people are actually starting to use your product. So at least give out something first that people are going to use, and then worry about scaling it up. And again, this is a learning that I get from YC, that YC always says, or Paul Graham always says, that make something that doesn't scale. Well, it sounds so counterintuitive that it doesn't scale, but I mean, when it comes to building technical services, people always think about scaling, optimization, latency, X, Y, Z. But if you worry about all these things and you haven't pushed anything out, then I mean, whatever you're doing is absolutely stupid, because nobody's going to use it. It's not even out there.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are back with a new video. This is the fourth episode of our Looking Beyond Fan Company series. In this series, we talk to founders and tech leaders who took the leap to start their own companies after working in the tech industry for some time. We will deep dive into various aspects of their lives. What's special about this? Well, we're going to be featuring founders whose startups are on the brink of shaking things up in the future. So, this series is filled with unfiltered insights. Do make sure that you're with us till the end of the podcast. But before moving forward, take a moment to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you're always notified on all our upcoming videos. Now, without wasting any more time, let's jump into the session. Today, we have Rajat with us. Rajat is the co-founder of a startup called AlgoTest. AlgoTest is a full-stack algorithmic testing and execution platform which is backed by Y Combinator. We will get to know all about it in detail, how it all got started, how was the experience so far. So let's welcome Rajat. Thank you, Rajat, for taking our time to do this with us. Can you quickly introduce yourself for our viewers?
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Shivani, for inviting me to this podcast. And yeah, it feels good to be here. So yeah, tell me. Yeah, I'll deep dive into a little bit about myself. So yeah, Shivani already told you guys, I am Rajat. I graduated from IIT Delhi last year, from 2022, and right now I'm building AlgoTest. Well, what we are trying to do at AlgoTest is we are trying to bring technological innovation in the trading space itself. And how we are going about is, well, trading, as we all know, or as we have seen, as we have seen our peers doing it, well, it's not just about firing orders. Well, trading involves a set of rules based on which you take certain decisions on what you're gonna buy and what you're gonna sell, right? Now, mostly people do it on an ad hoc basis. Like they will go to their broker terminal, they will click the buy button or they will click the sell button based on what their insight is. But well, that's not always going to be profitable. So what we are trying to introduce is a culture of systematic trading, actually. And systematic trading involves that you have your set of rules, and based on those set of rules, you're going to take your action, and there will be absolutely zero discretion involved from your side. Well, you can do a discretion from your side based on the market conditions, but systematic rule dictates that you should not do any discretion from your side. Now, how are you going to be confident about, like, the set of rules that you have come up with? Is it going to be profitable, or are you going to blow up your capital trying to trade it, right? So what you do is you do a little bit of research, and it involves running your set of rules, or your strategies, as we call it. You run your strategies on historical data, and then you you try to find the statistical analysis of, what was my risk involved, what is my return it is giving, or what is my return over risk basically, and a lot of other parameters as well. And then you try to tune your parameters, and you try to tune your strategies to see if you get an edge out of it or not. And once you are comfortable with your set of rules, you also try to diversify it, right? Because if you're trading on just one set of rules, then again, if the market is not in your favor, you might blow up your capital. So you try to diversify it, and you try to find multiple such set of rules that will give you a diversification, and will actually get to a very minimum risk level. And you basically bunch up these set of rules, again run it on historical data, try to find uncorrelated sets, so that again, you are making a good return based on the risk that you are comfortable with. And once you are done with that, now this is all a historical simulation. What has worked in the historical market might not work in the present market scenario, or might not work in the future, right? So you try to validate your ideas in the current live market, and that you do by taking some virtual trades, by not firing actual orders in the market. And this is what we call as forward testing. So the first step was back testing, which is running your rules on historical data. Second part was validating on live data. We call it forward testing. And then the third part comes out to be actually executing your orders, right? And again, you have a systematic system. You have a systematic rule. So you want to be firing orders automatically. You don't want to be doing it manually, because your edge might be alive for a very small amount of time, and by the time you actually go to your broker's terminal and you fire the order, the edge is lost. So now all of this requires a lot of technical expertise. It requires a market expertise for sure, because you want to be a profitable trader. So you need to know what you're trading, and how to trade your ways through the market. But it requires a technical expertise as well. And what we are trying to do at AlgoTest is we are trying to remove this technical barrier completely from the systematic trading for the traders. And you just focus on your strategies. You just focus on learning about the market, and whatever is required from the tech perspective, we will take care of it completely. So that's the hypothesis behind it.
Okay, great. So Rajat, this whole thing is like built for retail traders or investors only, right?
Totally in a consumer space. Nothing about the prop guys, because they are already way too profitable.
Okay, great. So Rajat, you graduated last year only, right, in 2022, and Algo Test is something that you started building in 2021, like maybe when you were still in college, right? So and
I remember it was starting of my fifth year. So I actually was in a integrated course of BTech plus
okay.
MTech, and I did this when I entered into my fifth year.
Got it. Cool. So, but again, it was still while being in college only, right? So this also seems like a proper tech product only, right? I mean, you have built in a lot of trading strategies into it, so that all the retail investors can also take benefit of it. So, was this whole idea behind this whole building this whole product was something you wanted to solve for a problem that you had already identified while being in college, or is it something that you have built because you have a skill set in it and you are passionate about this field?
Yeah, I mean, the journey is very long, and I cannot exactly pinpoint one particular point of time that where this entire vision came from, but I'll try to touch upon it as much as possible. So, I mean, at the end of my third year, I had this interest in the capital markets, right? So, I started working with a couple of trading firms. I did some developer kind of jobs for those trading firms, and that's where I met my co-founder, Raghav. And I actually interned with him for 6 months. We were working together on a trading project itself, and Raghav was the CTO of another prop trading firm based out of Gurgaon. And
Is
that's
he
where sorry.
Is he from your college as well, or is he from some?
No. Actually, we have quite a big age gap as well. So he has done his bachelor's from Waterloo and master's from Columbia, and he was a trader in US itself. He was based out of Chicago and New York, and he has a lot of domain expertise when it comes to trading, as well as the tech expertise. and yeah, we worked together. We really enjoyed each other's company, and we saw this gap in the market where there were a lot of tools out there who were trying to solve the problem for one particular, who were trying to solve basically one small problem. And what
Hmm.
they had done was they had built a tool out of it, really good tools, but basically they were not innovating. They had built this tool and they were just in the business of a rent collection, that I've built this tool, I'm not going to innovate, and you guys use it as much as you want. And they were charging a very hefty amount, and all we thought was, hey, so the first product we looked at was that it was a backtester itself, and we said, hey, we have built like 20 of these backtesters in the past 3 months or in the past 6 months, and all it requires us to just build it out in a scalable manner and give it out. And that's what we did. In the first 3 months, we built out a version of the backtester that was very popular in the market, and we gave it out for free. So our competitor used to charge somewhere around, let's say, 50 rupees a backtest, and we just went live with our product or with the MVP, and we said that backtest as much as you want, it's free. 2,000 backtests per week is free, and we were not generating any revenue, we were not collecting anything, and we were just trying to find out like what's sticking in the market and what's not sticking in the market. And that's where the journey evolved. But slowly we realized that it's not just about one single tool that we have to build, it's about the entire ecosystem. And that's where the vision came from, that people don't do one single frame, or people are not trading from one single framework or one single perspective. They are using a lot of other things. And before us, what they used to do, they used to pay X amount of rupees to platform A for one feature, Y to platform B for another feature. And you see these traders having 10 different screens for all sorts of things, right? And that is for a reason, because they don't get anything at a centralized place. And yeah, and well, this is where the vision evolved, to build the entire ecosystem.
Okay, understood. Cool. Let's move to the next question, Rajat. You started it in 2021, right? And last year itself, you got funded by Y Combinator, right? So tell us a little bit about that experience. How did that go for you, and whose idea was it to go, give an application to Y Combinator? Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, sure. So when we started, so we started in August 2021, and I was still in college, so I would travel with Raghav to this one single location where we still have our office in New Rajendra Nagar, and we used to go there like 2-3 times a week. We used to discuss, we used to write some code, and yeah, we launched our MVP in November, and like in the first week itself, there was this very big influencer on Twitter who just posted that, hey guys, check out algotest.in. And on the very same day itself, we got around like 2,500 signups. And like our Twitter DMs were very flooded, because people were saying, hey, what you have built is really cool, but we want this as well, we want that as well. And we just tried it out as an experiment, and whatever we launched, it stuck so fast that all we did for the next couple of months was we listened to our customers, we serviced their feature requests, and whatever we did, people wanted more. And that's when we thought, okay, we are onto something. Let's try to raise some funds and let's see where we go. Yeah. So, and that's when we started talking to Indian VCs, and well, they completely rejected our idea. In a way, saying that, okay, you guys are stupid. There was this really big confusion for me as well, because I was in my final year, whether I should go for placements or whether I should stick on to this thing. And well, VCs are saying you guys are stupid, but customers are loving us. So what to do? And that's when we thought, okay, we'll try at Y Combinator as well. And we applied for YC around March 2022, and yeah. And then it was a surprise. They accepted our application and called us for an interview. And after the interview, once you're accepted to an interview, it's a very short interview, like a 10-minute call itself. And well, we were also kind of apprehensive, like what are they going to judge us in just in a 10-minute short call, because we have had these an hour-long multiple calls with multiple VCs, and well, they didn't understand anything in 1 hour long conversations. What are these guys going to understand in 10 minutes? And well, we still don't know to date like what they really liked about us. But yeah, after the call, then very next day, Brad, our group partner, he called us and said, "Okay, you guys are in." And well, that was around May and May 27. I remember the date still, May 27, 2022. And well, that was the end of my college. So I was still in this sort of confusion that okay, we have built something, we have gained some traction. There's no funding, and I'm getting out of college. What to do next? But luckily enough, YC accepted us. And well, the experience was really good. I mean, if I have to talk about YC, so it's I mean, the YC cohorts are usually like a 3-month long batches, and in the first month they really push you towards building out your product. And what they emphasize on is, well, build something fast and push it out. Don't try to be perfect. Just you have an MVP and launch it out and see what kind of feedback you're getting from your customers. Just don't try to be in this mindset that whatever I launch or whatever my MVP is, it has to be really perfect. So I mean, in the first month of the batch, they really push you towards launching, and in the second month of the batch, they try to push you towards, okay, now you have launched it. Now how do you gain traction out of it, right? And in the second month of the batch, they try to address your problems around growth. Okay, these are the kind of challenges you are facing. These are the kind of things you can try, and that's the sort of mentorship they get. And the third month of the batch is towards the fundraising side, where they teach us, okay, this is what investors look for, and this is how you should prepare for fundraising. So the batch is majorly divided into these three parts. And well, YC was a very, very, very nice experience. And one thing that I personally took out of YC, and this is what they always emphasize on, is always listen to your customers, man. YC's motto is make something that people want. And well, to do that, you have to listen to people. Any startup you are doing, you're trying to bridge a gap. And well, you're bridging that gap for someone. And if you're not listening to the guy for whom you're solving the problem, then you're not really doing anything.
Understood. So Rajat, like you mentioned, कि starting में Indian VCs जो थे, they were all rejecting your ideas, right? But the customers were loving it, right? And then you decided to go to maybe US investors. YC was one of them. So when they were rejecting it, didn't you feel like कि मतलब these are some really experienced people, they know how to build a product?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
and I should maybe
so I would talk. Yeah, I don't really want to revisit that time, because I mean, it was a very dejecting phase and a lot of demotivation. But yeah, we got through it. And I mean, this is something I took from my experience of working on a startup, that you will get a lot of down phases, and you gotta look for those small wins. YC was, I mean, our customers loving our MVP was our first win. The investors rejecting us was a very big down phase, but then YC accepting was another small win. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of a lot of people are going to say when you're trying to build something that you're stupid, but I mean, you got to trust your instinct, and that's what we did.
So what was the reason that they used to give you? Because obviously you must have told them that the customers are loving it, that's how the whole thing works, but on what basis were they rejecting?
And everybody has different reasons. See, when it comes to venture capitalists, right, as you said, like, if they're very experienced people, and when they're rejecting you, like, how does it make you feel? And that's what I also thought, that, hey man, these people are sitting on billions and billions of dollars of capital, and they're saying that you're stupid, so they must be right? But well, with VCs also, I mean, I have slightly this perspective that they are also kind of a trader, right? And not every trader makes good bets all the time, right? As a trader, you make some winning bets. As a trader, you make some losing bets, and that's what VCs also do. So if a VC doesn't bet on you, it doesn't mean that you're bad. Some other VC might. And well, I mean, yeah, they rejected us, and everybody gave a plethora of reasons, and everybody has their own perspective. And well, we know that. We knew that what we were onto, and we were onto something, and well, we were not able to convince them, but that's not the end of the road. Yeah.
I think that's a great way to put it, that VCs are also in some way traders, and some of their bets can be wrong as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So cool, Rajat. Let's move to the next question. Because you started this while being in college, and you have had some jobs before, like in forms of internships and all, right? And you had
Yeah.
studied on your own a lot. But as a proper full-time employee, you haven't really like worked much, right? This is like your
Mhm.
first thing, and you've been working on it.
Yeah.
So has it ever happened that because you're such a fresher, you recently graduated and you have built your own company, that sometimes people, maybe maybe some investors or some people, they don't take you that seriously, and if that happens, how do you like deal with it?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, that it happens till date, but I mean, you just gotta go through it. If someone is challenging you that you're not capable enough to do something, the best way to reply is just do it and show it to them, and that's the motto I follow. Well, of course, when I started, I didn't have any corporate experience as such, or building or any product development experience as such. I mean, all I had was a couple of internships in Adobe and Hotstar, as a researcher and as a product or as a developer, really not even a product builder. So I mean, I took those experiences, I learned whatever I could from there, and then I knew like what I wanted to do. And there was already an established guideline of about what I wanted to do. And all I needed to do was I read those and I understood, okay, this is the framework you have to work in, how hard it is to even grasp it. And well, I understood about it. I started writing some code. Initially it took some time, there were a lot of challenges, but you know so I mean, this was a really cool thing that I had Raghav with me. So he had some domain expertise. So wherever I lacked the domain expertise, he came up with it. And well, the technical part, wherever I lacked that, I read about it and I implemented it. And I mean, and whenever we faced a challenge that there was something we couldn't solve, we also had a couple of freelancers. In fact, my first hiring itself was a freelancer. I mean, I worked for him for about 6 months on and off, and then I eventually told him that, hey man, it's really great working with you. Why don't you come and join us full time? And that was my first hire. And he's from Italy actually, so I had him come to India.
Okay, that is great. So I was going to move to this question only, right? Because you mentioned कि ज़्यादा work ex भी नहीं है, मतलब आपने कुछ internships किए, उसके बाद ये start कर दिया था. तो चलो company run करना तो is a different thing altogether, because you know what you're looking to do, right? But when it comes to maybe hiring the right kind of people for your company, for them to work on your vision, what sorts of strategies do you apply there, and what kind of characteristics that you look for, maybe when you're hiring people who are in the tech domain or who are going to be doing non-tech work as well? What kind of characteristics do you look for?
Yeah, when it comes to working at a startup, right? You always have to wear multiple hats. So I mean, it's not that if you're a backend developer, you're only going to work on one single microservice that I have assigned to you, and that's your job of the life. No, you gotta work on a new thing every week. And well, so when it comes to wearing multiple hats, uh, from what I have seen so far, or in my experience so far, well, I also don't go for a very I also don't go for someone who has a lot of experience, because when it comes to, if I hire someone who is a very senior developer or a senior engineering manager at an established tech company, well, they come with all sort of nuances. They try to make your pipeline very streamlined. Well, that is good, but what we are at a stage, and this has been our moat, or our USP, that we iterate really really fast. We started as a backtesting service, but now we are doing a lot more than that. And what we are doing right now is might not be even 5% of what we aim to do in a couple years down the line. So I mean, we have to iterate really really fast. So I mean, I always look for people who have this sense of ownership, that if I assign them something, they take that it is their it is their job of the life to get that task completed and then move on to the next one, not just stuck over there. You have done something, you build it out and you push it out. Of course, in the first go itself, you're not going to write 100% correct code. You might face some challenges, but that comes when people are actually starting to use your product. So at least
Hmm.
give out something first that people are going to use, and then worry about scaling it up. And again, this is a learning that I get from YC, that YC always says, or Paul Graham always says, that make something that doesn't scale. Well, it sounds so counterintuitive that it doesn't scale, but I mean, people all, when it comes to building technical services, people always think about scaling, optimization, latency, X, Y, Z. But if you worry about all these things and you haven't pushed anything out, then I mean, whatever you're doing is absolutely stupid, because nobody's going to use it. It's not even out there. So when I look for people, I of course look for some sort of experience, because I mean, initially I started looking for people. I started even looking for freshers, but I mean, usually there's a challenge that you have to teach a fresher a lot of things. So I mean, I usually look for someone who has kind of like a year or 2 years of experience, and well, because that means they have some sort of a technical expertise in terms, or they know the tools and technologies and the frameworks to build out certain things, and all I need to provide with them is guidelines on how to do it in a from a trading perspective, or from this, or from the domain perspective.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I look for those experience, that you have some sort of technical experience, and of course you're going to learn a lot on the job itself. And and the second thing I look for is, of course, the sense of ownership that you bring along with it.
Okay, great. That is quite insightful, Rajat. So next question that I would like to ask would be about AlgoTest only. Like, what sorts of things you guys are now building on? Like, what do you see? Where does it do you see going it in future? And also, I would like to know, like, what all competitors do you guys have? Like, when it comes to like retail investors and traders as well, and anything that you would like to share that you guys are building on right now, and would be hoping that it builds out great in the next coming few years.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be sharing a lot on what we are doing next, because
Hmm.
I mean, it gives away the if someone looks at it, it gives away the edge. But yeah, I mean, so when we started, we started from a very niche, right? We built a solution for a certain set of traders who are using one framework of trading, but and we have built, and we have went into depth of it, and we gave the research tools, we gave the analytics tools, we gave the validation tools, we gave the execution tools. But now what we have to do is, we have to build multiple such frameworks that other traders are also using, and well, slowly we have to expand our customer base. So that is something we are focused on right now. And of course, when we started as an MVP product, but now we have a couple of thousands of users who are relying on us on a daily basis for their trading needs. And well, we can't be in that MVP mode any longer, because
Mhm.
well, anything that goes wrong with their trades is a risk of their capital, and that is something that's
Mhm.
not at all acceptable, and we have to build that trust. So we are slowly rewriting our existing certain existing services as well, to make it more reliable and more robust. and
Mhm.
and and yeah, of course, as I said, we are also building other frameworks that other traders use. And well, if I talk about a very longer picture or a longer vision, then I mean, 10 years down the line, we want to be in a stage where uh, any single person in India who has to do anything with the capital markets, well, AlgoTester is a platform to go, and that's what we want to be building. What were other parts of your question? I actually lost them.
I think that was the only thing that I was asking. Ki any plans which you have for AlgoTest that you'd like to share, what you're excited about? So I think we have covered it pretty well.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we wish you all the best for that, Rajat. That we hope all of these things come true in future. So let's do a small rapid fire sort of a round with you. I'm going to be asking you
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
Okay, you can just come. You can just tell me whatever comes to your mind. Okay, so the first
Mhm.
question is one favorite book of yours.
0 to 1, Peter Thiel.
Okay, and which is that one co-founder or a founder that you look up to most and you have learned a lot from?
Uh, Nikhil Kamath, Zerodha.
Okay. And do you want to give any lesson or maybe anything that you've learned from
And
him?
yeah, I mean, from the in the domain that I am trying to build something, he's a pioneer,
Hmm.
right? And people look up to him a lot, and you can say he's the star boy of Indian startup ecosystem. I mean,
Hmm.
the guy literally started. the guy started trading, and then he saw this gap in the brokerage system, and he built such a robust brokerage system that he's the biggest one out there. And the kind of the way Zerodha is built, it's you can say it's bootstrap, right? It's not even
Hmm.
relying on VC capital, and that's the kind of business one aims to build.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're still bootstrap. They don't spend anything on marketing. Yeah, I mean, that's the North Star if it comes to building a startup.
Okay. So, last question: what is that one tech trend that you're most excited about?
Artificial intelligence, everybody is excited about that. Well, let's see what it can do.
Hmm, great. So I think that is all from my end. These are the things that I wanted to discuss with you, Rajat. I hope whatever you're trying to build, well, we wish you all the best for that. Anything else that you would like to tell our viewers, because most of our audience are, aspiring coders or maybe people who want to get into the tech industry but still in college. Anything that you would like to tell them?
Yeah, I mean, as a recently graduate from college, I mean, one sort of advice that I can give to people, because I also haven't seen what's out there in the world, right? I also have to see a lot of things. But one thing that I would say, don't restrict yourself, guys. Always look out for opportunities and explore as much as you want, because I mean, college is that one golden period of time where you get to explore anything you want. And well, everybody says that, but very less people follow that. So I mean, you can, you can, or I would say you should listen to a lot of people, but always trust your instinct on what you are going to do next. Your decision should be yours and not be influenced by others. And I mean, exploration, you should never stop exploration, and you should never stop learning, because I mean, I'm still learning till date, and well, I hope to learn always in the future.
That's great piece of advice, Rajat. I'm sure people listening to this will surely pay attention to it and apply it in their lives. And thank you so much again for taking out time to do this with us. We wish you all the best for AlgoTest. That is it for today's video, guys. I hope you found it insightful. We will be bringing in more such guests in future. What kind of questions do you want us to cover in such discussions? Do let us know in the comment section below, and we will be covering them next. Till then, keep learning. And if you guys are also interested in building a career in software development, go to our website accujob.com and take the aptitude test. The test will definitely help you in identifying which course is best for you, be it MERN or Java full stack. Both the courses have amazing instructors and mentors from top IT companies who are going to be there for you to guide you throughout your journey. So do make sure that you check out the link provided in the description below and take the test. And if you guys are new to the channel, then don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you're always notified on all our upcoming videos. And thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you in the next one.